So I'm sitting in the airport when a girl approaches me. I look up, we make eye contact, she smiles, and then I smile, and then her and her friend sit next to me. And right now I have my headphones on, and I have my journal out, and I'm just writing about self-improvement in the different areas I want to level up in. But right now I realize that if I actually want to level up in life right now, I got to talk to these girls. And I look over, and I see the first girl, on her forearm, she has a tattoo. And I instantly think, oh, that's a cool tattoo. I should say something about it, right? And I'm about to say, oh, that's a nice tattoo. But the words don't come. In fact, it feels like there's this invisible force holding me back right now, keeping me silent. It feels like there's an invisible wall between us, even though she's literally like less than a foot away. She's sitting right next to me. There's no words. I can't say anything. And I'm just like, yo, what's going on? And a few minutes pass, and I'm just trying to get myself to talk, but I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. And she puts on her jacket, and the tattoo is now covered up. And now I'm thinking, oh, I can't say anything about the tattoo anymore. And then I'm thinking, oh, well, what about the jacket? I look over, and it's just a jacket, right? So I'm like, all right, I don't know what I'm going to say now. And again, I'm just sitting there, just in my own head, like, oh, man, what do I say? What do I say? And that's why I'm thinking, all right, you know what? I'll just go to the bathroom. When I come back, I'll just turn on the social mode. All right, I gotta lock back in, right? So I get up, go to the bathroom, I come back, I sit down, and I don't know what I expected to happen, but it was the exact same situation. The girls are talking, I'm right next to them, and I'm just in my head, just overthinking. And it's at this point that I realized that now I genuinely have to talk to these girls. Because if I don't, the next time someone sits next to me or someone's around me and I get the thought that I want to talk to them, it's going to be even harder to start the conversation. Because essentially, right now, I'm reinforcing this identity in my mind that I'm shy and I can't talk to people. So I know I have to talk to these people no matter what. And it's at this point I get an idea in my head from a video I saw online, how to make friends in the gym. Just ask the person that you want to talk to, excuse me, can you watch my stuff for a bit and then go refill your water bottle? So I got my water bottle in hand and I stand up and I look at the girls and I say, excuse me, can you watch my stuff real quick? And there's no response. They didn't hear me. So I say it again this time, and I had to increase the volume of my voice. Excuse me, can you two watch my stuff real quick? And they look over, and they smile, and they're like, sure. So now I'm walking over to refill my water bottle, and then I get the thought, hold on, didn't I just go to the bathroom without asking them to watch my stuff? And I'm like, all right, you know what, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter anymore, all right? I already broke the ice, and I'm good now. When I come back, I'll be good, right? So I refill my water bottle. I'm like, all right, bro, I'm ready to talk. I'm ready for this, you know what I'm saying? And I get back, I sit down, and I look over at the girls, and they're looking back, and they're smiling, and I say thank you. And at this point, I'm in, all right? I'm ready to talk. So I seize the opportunity, and I say, are you two in college? And they are. In fact, they also go to school in the same town that I go to school in. And that was pretty cool, right? And from there, I make sure to get their names. Because, well, obviously you want to introduce yourself, get their names, but the names are important. In fact, I have this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, right here. This is like the first self-improvement book I read. And principle number 3 is remember that a person's name is the most important sound in any language. So I got the girls' names. I think it was Elisa and Chloe, I think. I'm not sure. I kind of forgot, low-key. But I think it was Elisa and Chloe. And I made sure to, like, throughout our entire conversation, I kept saying, oh, Elisa, what do you think about this? Oh, Chloe. I kept making sure to say their names over and over again, right? So that was the first principle I used, right? And the second principle I used was principle number 1, become genuinely interested in other people. So again, as I was asking them, are they in college? Then I started asking them more about their school and where they're from. And apparently the girls, one of them is from Argentina, the other is from Kenya. And that was just like, whoa, that's cool. That's different, right? So we were talking about their school, and they were saying how crazy their school is. It's super small, like 600 kids in the whole college. But like there's a bunch of characters there, and they were saying how there's like furries just like walking around campus and everything. I'm like, oh, whoa, that's cool, right? And the thing is, when you follow these principles of being likable, right? What happens is that people, because you're interested in them, naturally become interested in you. And the girls start asking me questions about my college. And my college is kind of it has a reputation for being a party school, right? So they're asking me, oh, like, I heard some really bad things about it. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And I start telling them all these, like, crazy stories that I had. And the story I told was when I just walked into my friend's dorm, and he was, like, super drunk. And he straight up passed out. And he just slammed his head on the desk. And then he started bleeding, and he started coughing up blood. And then all the girls that were there just started, like, running around screaming, like, oh, my gosh. And I'm just watching, like, bro, what is going on? Because I don't drink, right? So I just got to tell them that fun little story, and they're laughing and everything, and I'm just genuinely feeling good. Like, I did this, bro. I actually talked to them and was able to have a conversation. And then I tell them about my YouTube channel. And I noticed that I kind of did it like automatically, like subconsciously in a way. I didn't need to think, oh, what should I say next? What should I say next? I think at this point, I've gotten to a lot of conversations in which now I just like talk automatically. I'm not even like I'm kind of present, but I'm not really present. Like, I'm not really controlling anything. I'm just like naturally reacting, right? And I realize that nowadays I tend to just talk about my YouTube channel a lot. It's like any person that I meet, I say, oh, hi, I'm Dale. And then a few seconds later, oh, I'm a YouTuber, by the way. So I tell them about my channel. I tell them about, oh, like, I'm growing up and I kind of feel like I have to work on whatever dream or passion that I have right now, because when I get older, then I won't be able to do anything because I have to do taxes and everything. So I tell them about my YouTube channel, right? And that's when I say, well, that's like my thing. That's my passion, whatever. Do you two have anything that you're interested in? And this is another principle in the book. Principle number 5, talk in terms of the other person's interests, right? So, I guess that could be the first one too. Become genuinely interested in the other person, right? But yeah, talking about things that they care about, right? So I shared a little bit about what I care about, and that was to kind of like show who I am, right? Because like, you can't just talk about the other person the whole time, right? So you want to share some of your own stuff, right? But I also wanted to figure out what they're interested in, and that's kind of why I shared my thing, right? So they were telling me how, like, the girl from Kenya, she has like a podcast about, oh man, what was it about? It might have been about animals, I think. I think it was about animals. I could be wrong though. I'm probably wrong. So she had a podcast, right? And the other girls said that she always wanted to travel and go around and travel the world and stuff. I'm like, oh, well, that's cool because you're already traveling since you're from Argentina and now you're here in America and everything, right? So that was cool. And then they started asking me more about my YouTube channel, and I told them, I just told them what I do. I do self-improvement, and I tell them about social skills. That's a big area that I'm trying to improve. And I even told them that I was sitting here, and in my mind I was thinking, I should talk to these girls, but I was too scared to, and I had hyped myself up to do it. So I literally just told them that, right? And this is like another thing I realized about social skills, that you can just be honest. You can just tell people how you feel in the moment. Like if there's someone that you're afraid to talk to, when you talk to them, you can say, oh, by the way, I'm kind of like nervous and scared to talk to you, but I just wanted to push myself to do it. And that's like a conversational thread. They can say, oh, like, oh, I feel the same way, or oh, like, well, you did it, good job, like, you know what I'm saying? So just learning to be more, I guess, like natural, right? Or just honest about who you are and the situation that you're in. And I think just having that level of authenticity, first of all, just makes the conversation easier because you're not like trying to become something like this. You're not trying to play this certain character. You're just able to be yourself. But also, people just see you like, oh, this is a real person that I can relate to, that I'm talking to right now. And we had like a great conversation. And then the speaker overhead is like, oh, the flight's going on now, and the girls are like, oh, that's our flight, and they go and they get up and I shake their hands and they leave, and turns out I'm at the wrong terminal for my flight, right? But whatever. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just feeling like so proud and accomplished of myself, because again, I was scared to talk to them, but I did it anyways, right? And it's like at moments like these where I feel like I've logged back into the game of life. Like I'm actually like playing life instead of just being like a passive NPC. And I think back to when I was a little kid and I had my DS. And this is probably the reason why I became antisocial, because I was always playing video games, right? But on my DS, I was playing Pokemon Black and White, bro. If y'all played Pokemon Black and White, if you played that game, bro, you're a G, bro. You're a G if you played that game. But I was playing Pokemon, and what I would do is I would talk to every single NPC in the game. Everyone, bro. I would literally talk to I needed every single line of dialogue. I even talked to the Pokemon. The Pokemon never even said anything. They said like Scritch Scritch or Pika Pika or something. But I literally talked to every character in the game because I wanted to see every line of dialogue. Some people gave you tips. Some people gave you a little mission to do. Some people like gave you free items and stuff like that. So I had to make sure I wanted to see every line of dialogue. But in real life, it's not like that, right? In real life, I look around and I see people that I want to talk to, and I'm like, oh no, what do I say? Oh, this and this and that and this and that and that. In the video game, I just walk up to the person and I just press A, and then they start talking to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's so easy in the game, but in real life, it's way hard. It's way more difficult, right? But that desire is there. That desire is there. I want to talk to more people. I want to be outgoing. I want to be social. And that's kind of my goal, to be able to just walk up to anyone and talk to anyone. And what's the way that you do it? What's the way to get better? It's simply facing that resistance, that wall. Maybe for you feel a level of fear. You feel butterflies in your stomach or your heart beats. That used to be me as well. At this point, I'm not feeling that fear per se, but I'm still feeling that level of resistance holding me back from talking to people. And again, the only way to overcome it and to get better is to simply face it. Anyways, despite all the thoughts going on in my head, despite all of that, you simply just say hello, get the experience in, and you'll surprise yourself. You'll when you go and talk to people like you have before in the past, you realize, oh, it's not that bad. That was a really good conversation. I'm glad I pushed myself and did that. And to be honest, I'm kind of thinking, and this is a negative thought, but maybe that uncomfort feeling of that resistance, maybe that will never go away. Maybe with anyone, it's always going to be like, I don't know what to say, whatever. But what will change is the fact that you become more confident. So even if you feel a negative thought or resistance or you're feeling tired or whatever, if you want to talk to someone, because you've gotten so much experience, you have a level of confidence to say, I know this will go well. And even if it doesn't go well, then I know I'll be okay. And that's like the level I'm trying to reach. That level of confidence. Not necessarily trying to eliminate all fear and discomfort, but trying to have that confidence to embrace that discomfort and talk to people anyways.